Can you believe it's been a decade since this came out? So its anniversary isn't for another week, but since I'm taking Christmas off to let y'all spend time with your family, I thought I'd celebrate the 10th anniversary of this film just a bit early. But you gotta choose your own day for this one. Here's my review of Daddy's Home. Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. So, greetings, my fellow YouTubers, and welcome again to Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. I'm the Big D, and this time around, I bring to you a review of the 2015 buddy comedy flick Daddy's Home, released by Paramount, directed by Sean Anders, who co wrote the story with Brian Burns and John Morris. The film stars Will Ferrell, Linda Cardellini, and Mark Wahlberg. It tells the story of a mild mannered stepfather who vies for the attention of his wife's children when her biological father returns. The film was released on December 25th, 2015. Yeah, which is Christmas Day, but of course, again, as I've said already, I'm not doing anything, well, doing no vids for Christmas, so apologies. So this way y'all can spend time with your family. So I'm celebrating its 10th anniversary early. And of course, this was just a few weeks after it made its premiere in London. Though it did get decent, well, a little bit of fair response, but it faced criticism for its lack of funny ideas and not fully exploring the premise. But it received praise for the performances and chemistry between Mr. Ferrell and Wahlberg, and became a big hit. Anyway, let's begin with the story. Mild-mannered radio executive Brad Whitaker tries hard to be a good stepfather to his wife Sarah's children, Megan and Dylan, and is seemingly sterile after an accident to his testicles a couple of years ago. The kids are finally getting closer to him. Dylan confides in him about some older bullies at school, and Megan asks him to take her to the school's father-daughter dance. One night, however, Dusty Mayron, Sarah's ex-husband and the kid's biological father, calls to announce he will be visiting the next day. Sarah hesitates to let him into their home, but Brad convinces her it is important for the kids to see him, and Dusty establish a respectful relationship. When Dusty arrives, he immediately intimidates Brad with his tough and muscular appearance and his charm with Megan and Dylan. He talks Brad into letting him stay. Despite Sarah warning about his true nature, Brad soon wises up when it becomes clear he intends to reclaim his family by driving Brad away. Dusty shows Brad up by getting the kids a dog, which Dusty names Tumor, and finishing a treehouse Brad and Dylan had been building. He also makes Brad seem racist after unwillingly firing handyman Griff after a fiasco with Dusty's motorcycle, and Dusty later invites Griff to move in with them. He tries to drive a wedge between Brad and Sarah by taking them to a fertility doctor, hoping that Brad's inability to impregnate her will send her back into Dusty's arms. Still, the two men appear to reach an understanding after jointly teaching Dylan how to defend himself from his bullies. Additionally, the couple is overjoyed to learn that Brad's sperm count has recovered, giving them hope of having a child together. However, Brad is stunned when Dusty reveals he still intends to drive him out of the family. Desperate, Brad spends tens of thousands of dollars on gifts, including a pony for Megan and $18,000 in tickets to an NBA game for Dylan. At the game, Dusty once again shows Brad up by revealing himself to be friends with the strength and conditioning coach of Dylan's favorite team, the LA Lakers. Brad is even more enraged when he learns that Megan has chosen Dusty to take her to the father-daughter dance instead of him. During halftime, Brad is chosen to try to shoot a basketball from half court to win a trip to Disney World. Drunk, he goes on a rant about Dusty before purposely hitting a cheerleader and a disabled child in the face with a basketball. Disgraced, Brad moves out of the house. However, when Dusty tries to comfort Sarah, she rejects him. and forces him to step up as a father to help his children with their busy schedules. 4 days later, Brad is living in his office at work, depressed. Dusty, meanwhile, is overwhelmed by the responsibilities of being a full time father. When Dusty decides to leave on the day of Megan's dance, Griff convinces Brad to fight for his family. Finding Dusty at a bar at the airport, he tries to get him to come back. Dusty admits that he cannot handle the hard parts about being a father and admires Brad for putting up with everything. Brad says that all of the terrible parts are worth it because in the end, he's doing it for the kids. This convinces Dusty to go to the dance, and they arrive together. Now for the ending. As always, you know the procedure. You have 5 seconds to stop this video at once. Go to the description box below and fast forward to the time below. As I count down now, if you've seen this movie already, please continue. Okay, you've been warned. At the dance, they discover the students who were bullying Dylan at school are girls. They almost fight the father of one of them when Dylan physically retaliates, as Brad and Dusty taught him to do, who had assumed the bullies were boys. However, Dusty finally decides to follow Brad's lead on being a father, quelling the night. Well, this here. Well, excuse me, quelling the fight with a dance off. Apologies. While Dylan does the same thing with his bully, Brad and Sarah reconcile, and Dusty decides to stay and co-dad for his kids. 1 year later, the whole family is happy. Brad and Sarah have a new baby boy named after Griff, and Megan and Dylan have finally accepted Brad as a father figure. Dusty has become wealthy and is now friends with Brad. Dusty remarries to Karen, who has a daughter, Adriana, thus making Dusty a stepfather himself. In an ironic twist of fate, he is now in exactly the same position that he put Brad in a year ago, visibly intimidated by Adriana's more muscular father, Roger. End of story. So, what did I think of Daddy's Home? Now, I've seen this a few times, and I've got to say, it's not as bad as they say it is. Sure, it has some flaws, but nevertheless, I found the film to be pretty funny and what have you. But I gotta say, it did very well and what have you. Though it lost to Star Wars The Force Awakens when it opened, but it still did pretty good. Its reviews were okay, but still kind of a bit negative. The film sets at 30% on Rotten Tomatoes, where they say Ferrell and Wahlberg have proven comedic chemistry, making this a re-team of theirs since they did The Other Guys 5 years back. But the film suffers from the dearth of genuinely funny ideas and lacks enough guts or imagination to explore the satirical possibilities of its premise. Sure, that's factually true, yes, but nevertheless, I found it to be pretty funny. Metacritic has a score of 42, and audiences polled by Cinema Score gave it a B+. Sofia Coppola, daughter of Francis Ford Coppola, is a huge fan of the film and later named it as one of her favorite films. The film got nominated for a Teen Choice Award in the category of Choice Movie Actor in a Comedy. When afterwards, but if I'm saying yes, but unfortunately, it lost to Zac Efron for Neighbors 2: Sorority Rising. Also, and also, the film got nominated for a Kids' Choice Award in the category Favorite Movie, while Will Ferrell won the award in the category for Favorite Movie Actor. Please stand by. Okay, yes, I did read it right. It was nominated for a Kids' Choice Award for Favorite Movie, but it unfortunately lost to Star Wars The Force Awakens, the movie that happened to be at the theater. But nevertheless, the film proved to be a big success, going on to make $242.8 million worldwide on its $50 million budget, becoming Will Ferrell's highest grossing live action film to this day. I mean, now ever since after doing the other guys, I have to say that the chemistry between both Ferrell and Wahlberg absolutely is sensational and very cool and funny and all that jazz. I gotta give it credit for what it had to offer. It also ended up being the second biggest non-anime opening of Ferrell's career, right behind Talladega Nights, The Ballad of Ricky Bobby. So again, eventually became Ferrell's highest grossing live action film, surpassing even Elf. But anyway, Daddy's Home, it's not too bad as they say. I think it's pretty funny. And I do think it's pretty cool. It would later be followed by a sequel 2 years later in Daddy's Home 2, but that got dissed even more. Now, the music was composed by Michael Andrews, which was good. Now, for the cast, we have Will Ferrell playing Brad and Mark Wahlberg as Dusty. As I've said already, these two are a real comic team and what have you. Just like they were in the other guys. I think it was just really something. Linda Cardellini, you may know of the Scooby Doo live action films and the cult classic TV show from the 90s, Freaks and Geeks, plays Sarah, who does an exceptionally good job. Really good. Megan is played by Scarlett Estevez. Who I've got to say is a, yeah, nice kid. Of course, she later went on to star on Lucifer and also appear in the fourth season of Disney Channel's Bun. Yep. Now, as for Dylan, he's played by Owen Vaccaro, who, after doing this in its sequel, he would later go on to play Lewis in The House with a Clock in Its Walls. He also would appear in Mother's Day as well. So anyway, yeah, the kids are actually pretty funny. Next, we have Thomas Haden Church as Brad's boss, Leo Holt, good. Hannibal Buress is Griff, yeah, pretty fine. Bobby Cannavale as Dr. Emilio Francisco, good. There's even a cameo by John Cena and the late great Kobe Bryant as well. We also get a little bit of an appearance of Alessandra Ambrosio, who, of course, I think this was after she appeared on the cover of Maxim magazine as Dusty's wife and Ariana's mother, who yeah, who that kid was played by Dee Dee Custine. Yeah, so the cast isn't too bad. So, like I said, Danny's Home, it's not that bad. It's fine, why have you? Sure, it does have its flaws, but nevertheless, it's a pretty funny buddy flick. So I got to give it credit for what I had to offer. Again, the chemistry between Will Ferrell and Mark Wahlberg just took the cake. Would I recommend the film? I'd say, sure, go ahead. If you're a big fan of Ferrell and Wahlberg, and if you like the other guys, you'll like them in this. Or, well, I kind of would consider giving it a draw between give it a one-time watch and sure go ahead. I'd be more sure go ahead for this one. So what did you think of Daddy's Home? Let me know in the comment section below. If you like this video, consider clicking the like button, subscribe, click on the bell for any notifications of what's to come. Subscribe and be a part of the Big D Nation. Continue to help support my channel, and you know the rest. Again, I'm not too far away from 1,100 subscribers. I'm only 7 subscribers away. Keep it up, everyone. Join me next time when I bring to you a review of Daddy's Home 2. So if you like this, check out these other vids I've done in the upper left-hand corner. If you liked a film like this, check out my review of Meet the Parents from 2000, or you can go to the upper right-hand corner and see my review of the other guys, or you can check out my recent video. It's a spoiler-free review of a film that Thomas Hayden Church just more recently appeared in, and that was Wake Up Dead Man, a Knives Out mystery, which is on Netflix. In the bottom right hand corner is the button you can click to subscribe. If you like rankings and reviews on movies, TV, music, video games, etc., then I'm your guy. Thanks for watching. Until next time, I'm the Big D saying, see ya.